Ooh, that looks tasty.
Welcome, folks, to The Hungry Gamer is back with another mini review, and today we are talking about Final Girl from Van Ryder Games. Now, this is one that is actually back on Kickstarter right now. Now, it's not the same stuff back on Kickstarter, though you can get it. It's the Season 2, so it's a bunch of new scenarios. That's going to make sense in just a minute when I talk about it. Now, I'm doing a mini review here simply because I came home with this from PAX and I didn't get to it right away. And then, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks later, the new campaign launched. And I wanted to get something out there for you. And with the campaign going, there's a pretty darn good how this game is played section on that page. So you can check it out there. But what this game is it is playing on the horror movie trope of the final girl. There's always one girl that's going to make it to the end. Or at least there was. Maybe it's changed now. I'm not really a big horror guy, so I don't really know. But in this game, you are taking on the role of the final girl. And there's the monster or the killer, whatever, roaming around, and you are trying to kill them before it kills you. And then along with it, as you're playing through the game, there are all of these victims. Because, there's always people getting killed all the time in the horror movies. And they're all over this little map. And you're going to be running around the map trying to find things that you can use to fight the monster or the killer or whatever it is, and you might be saving victims at the same time. If you're going through an area, you can say, oh, two of you, come with me. And you can get them to a green area, you're going to save them. If you save enough people, you're going to kind of power yourself up a little bit. But the core of the game is this dice rolling mechanic. And what you're going to have is you have a horror score, which the more horror there is, the fewer dice you get to roll, because I guess you're just scared. But the calmer you are, the more dice you get to roll as you're kind of, you're calm and you can think a little more clearly. And that's one kind of resource you're managing. You're also managing your time. Each turn you start with 6 time. And some dice rolls you make will give you more time. Some will take time away as you're doing actions. You're going to lose time. But the twist is you're going to use the time that you don't spend to purchase new action cards from the store each round. Now you have a starting deck of action cards, and you have the ones that you purchase. You purchase stuff, goes into your hand, and whatever you've played that turn goes into the discard pile. At the end of your purchase, your discard pile, one, you take the cards that had been purchased previously, not your starter cards. They go back in the store. They're only one use. And then the starter cards get kind of moved to another pile. That's going to be your draw pile. And before you do that, though, you're going to pick up all the cards that are in the draw pile. So basically, your starter cards you can play once every other turn. And so you're kind of managing that as you go. And these cards will be ones that let you move faster. There'll be cards that let you defend yourself. There'll be cards that let you search for items. There'll be cards that let you hit the bad guy. There'll be cards that lower these 2 tracks that are going up, this divine judgment and this I can't remember the one I want to say, the wrath, but that as these tracks go up, sometimes they'll trigger and then horrible, horrible things happen to you the higher and higher they are up these tracks. Then after you go, then the bad guy's going to go, and he has a basic action. I guess it might be a she, but I think most of them are he's, horror movies, right? And usually it just means that the killer is going to kill whoever is in the same area with it. And that's basically all that's going to do. But every time it kills someone, it gets more and more powerful. And you get this little pile of little victims going, kind of gross and cool. And then the bad guy's going to go, and it has this action where it mostly just kind of kills people that are within the same zone as it's in. And then you're going to draw a terror card, and the terror cards are going to probably move it around, and it'll go do something horrible or give it new powers or. And basically, you are trying to kill it before it kills you. And here's the thing, though, you can't dawdle, because the more victims it kills, the more powerful it gets. And if it's fully powerful all the way up there, you're probably going to lose. You really got to manage your time, saving victims, searching for items, and fighting. So what do I like about this game? First, I really like the way the game is produced. And this might not jive with some people, but I like it. There is a core box that you have to have. And I've been referring to this in my age as a VCR. And that has all the stuff that you're going to use in every single game that you play. Then it's up to you what adventures you want to add. And so this here is just an adventure where you're fighting Geppetto, the puppet master. Yeah, creepy right there. And it'll come with 2 different final girls that you're able to use. And you can use the final girls across different adventures if you want. And actually, I guess you could use the bosses across different adventures too if you want. I'm not sure how well that works, but you can also do that. And each one of those are like the VHS tape. And so what you're going to do is you're going to purchase your game, your core game, which is a VHS player, and then whichever stories are interesting to you to play. And there's, I don't know, I think there's 6 of them or 7 of them from the first Kickstarter campaign that you can get, and then the new campaign, there's another, I don't know, 8 or 9, and all of these are based off of different horror tropes that are out there, and just very, very cool. So I really like how that's done. Also, it's very cool that the boxes themselves are magnetic. I just pulled the top off the box, and that gives me my boss board there. And then by pulling the other side off, I have the map, which means the game has a pretty small footprint. Not as small as you think it is, because you got to kind of deal the cards out there, but overall, a small, small footprint, which I certainly like. Now, the next thing I like is it's a game about dice rolling. And again, chaos. I love my chaos. And this has a lot of it. Now, there is some mitigation, but you can just biff also. And for me, usually I enjoy that. It means, you know, it's kind of has this unknown. You can play really well and still lose, or you can make bad plays and still win if the dice go your way. And I generally roll dice very poorly, but I really like it. Next thing I like is the way that the turns work. It's really fast. As soon as you figure out, it is super fast, but it's not so fast that you are able to just go. You still have to stop and think, because the more cards you play, the more time you're probably going to use. Now, if your dice go really well, maybe you'll be okay. But it's that extra time is how you're going to buy extra cards. And you're not going to win the game without buying these extra cards. So you're going to have to find the balance of, when do I think I'm going to need to get the critical hit? Because that's going to cost me 6 times. That's a lot. Versus, when do I think I'm going to just need a search or a reroll or something? And when do I play those? Because when I play them, they're going back into the store. And I think that's just really clever. I also really like how the different bad guys are, well, different not only from each other, but from themselves, because with each one, you're going to give 2 major dark powers to them. There's, I think, 4 of each of those. So you're always going to have a different combination of those, and you don't know what it is until the time comes. And the last thing that I really like, which is so very thematic, both the final girl and the bad guy have the potential to do that thing we all love from horror movies, when you think they're dead and they jump up at the last minute. And that's because both of you have your health, whether maybe it's 7 health that you have. But your last health is this little token that you put down. And you randomly draw at the beginning of the game. On the back of that token, it might be blank, which means there's nothing. Or it might be 3 more hearts on there, which means you actually have 3 more lives. So you're down, you're like, you get back up and you go for it. So thematic, so very cool. So what are my quibbles with the game? Now, the first one is, you might not be down with the fact that you can buy the core box and you literally can't play. That might bother you. Obviously, I said I would think it's really cool and fun, but that might not be your thing. The next one is, it is very swingy. I mean, there are times, I was just playing last night, and I just could not, for the life of me, roll what I need. I was rolling 3 dice, and I would just get all ones, just multiple times, all ones on the thing, which means just total failure. And that might bother you. I personally think the game is fast enough and quick enough, especially if you're doing that, it's even faster because you just get, like, killed right away, that I think it's okay, because you can just play quick, boom. I played twice last night in like 40 minutes. It's just very fast. I love that. But I also love this mix of the card play. You're playing your cards and then rolling the dice to see how you do on the cards, and the shop that you have, and the way you have to choose to hold on to cards, because 1, that's going to give you more buying power most likely, but 2, if you blow all of your cards and you don't buy anything, you're going to have a turn where you do literally nothing. And I think that balance is just awesome. I love the way that works. You might not like that. You might be the type that wants to just take what they have and use it again and go. And there's a lot of games that I think are like that I love, but this doesn't do that. It really makes you think all the way through. And so if you aren't looking for something that is swingy because of dice, and you can just screw yourself because you played all your cards and then did nothing because of the dice, this one might not be for you. There you have it, folks. That is Final Girl from Van Ryder Games. This is one that has been a pleasant surprise for me. Not that it's because I didn't think it was going to be good, because Michael Kelly and Mark Dainty both told me it's really fun, but because I don't like the horror genre. I don't. But I like this game. This game is fun. This game really has grabbed me. I have 2 of the different stories, and I'm gonna go on to the Kickstarter myself and see, okay, which other of these stories maybe do I want to pick up? And I just think it's just a lovely, lovely game. If you can call slasher films lovely, you get what I'm saying. Check it out on Kickstarter right now. I will put a link to the current Kickstarter down in the description. Check it out. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.